Hey guys, this is Jordan Johnson from Countryside Sewer and Septic. Welcome to Homeowner 101. This class is about sump pumps. I was a building contractor for 15 years before I started my plumbing business here, and I realized that in meeting with customers, doing work on people's sump pumps, the phone calls that I received, that one thing that we do not do a good job at in the real estate industry and our education system is educating homeowners about maintenance and how to take care of their house and how the whole system even works. So here we are, and I'm just going to get started. So a sump pump, its primary purpose, we need to talk about physics. Its primary purpose is to release pressure, okay? Simplest way to explain that, here's a Michelob Ultra can, okay? Imagine that the inside of this Michelob Ultra can is the inside of your basement, and all around is rainwater pushing against these walls. Well, we all know if I grab this can and I do this, that can's gonna crush, okay? So what builders and inspectors came up and engineers came up with was a drain tile system. And what that is a perforated, which means a pipe with holes in it that goes around the perimeter of your foundation. When we pour a foundation, we take that pipe all the way around the outside and we go underneath your foundation and into your home, okay? That's when you're gonna find something like this. Although you have never seen it, probably not quite this large and not from this angle, and see the hole there, okay? That pipe goes underneath your foundation and into a sump pit or sump crock like this. What you look at is probably a lid and a hole like that with concrete in the bottom, or it's black in the bottom, or in most people's cases, what I encounter is that it's full of gravel and debris and leaves and all kinds of crap that is in there that is going to clog up and jam up your pump. So, anyway, back to the physics. We're releasing hydraulic pressure, okay? So here's your water bottle. Water is, if the pressure on the outside is equal to the inside, or we release the pressure from the outside, that tile basically, it's like you're pinching a balloon and you let go of the balloon, okay? All that air goes, okay? All that water goes from the outside of the foundation into this sump pit. Okay, now here's the problem. We're in the bottom of a basement, we're 8 feet underground. Where's that water gonna go? Here comes the infamous, hated, loved, needed, reveled sump pump. So, what I have here is a Wayne, okay? I do not have any investment in Wayne. Wayne doesn't pay me to do this video. What Wayne does is they test their pumps to 1 million cycles. So when I go to your house and I say, hey, I got to replace your sump pump, or you know you need a new sump pump, and I say, okay, well, what I like is Wayne, okay? The only reason that I'm recommending Wayne is they're tested to 1 million cycles, and they have a 3-year warranty, and I am a plumbing contractor, and I have Wayne in my house, Wayne on the shelf in my pole barn, and a second Wayne on the shelf in my house. Okay, so here is the sump pump, okay? All right, and what it is it's got an impeller in the bottom, and you see there's these filters right here, okay? See these filters all the way around. This is a cast iron base, okay? This is what you're gonna find in some of the more expensive sump pump models. And here's your float, okay? There's 2 different types of floats in production. There is a swing type float with a tether. So when the water rises in the pit, the tether floats up like this, and then as soon as it gets up like that, kick, it clicks on, sump pump's plugged in, and it tells the motor to turn on. Okay, now the problem that I find with tethers is that they get hung up on pipes. They get hung up on the edges of the pit. They decide they don't want to float one day. As soon as that tether gets hung up, you are going to get water in your basement if it's raining, okay? If the snow is melting, if it has rained, if you didn't watch my video that I haven't made yet on grading and you bought a house in the bottom of a hill. Okay, so here is a vertical float switch. Water rises in the pit, the float switch rises with water, and then hear that little click? Right there. Okay? As soon as that clicks up, boom, the pump kicks on, and it pumps until this float comes back down and lowers the switch, okay? So that's the Wayne. It's got a cast iron base, okay? There's a reason that a plumber charges a few $100s for these pumps. They're worth it, okay? So here's a few things. If you want to do some preventative maintenance, one of the things that you can do, and I'm going to try to draw here on the board, so let me get you guys a little bit closer in here. Okay. One of the things that you can do is, here's your sump pit. Well, okay, I'm not drawing. In the bottom of your pit. Let's see, that was embarrassing, but we're not cutting this video because really I'm here to give you honest information, and I'm not going to cut this video 100 times. In the bottom of that pit, okay, in those little perforations in the pipe that goes around the foundation, there's gravel. We put gravel because it creates a low pressure zone and makes the water easier to flow into the pipe. The gravel gets in the pipes, okay? There's also gravel underneath there. You got 4 inches of concrete in your basement floor. Then there's 4 inches of gravel underneath that. That water flows through all that like a river, and it gets into your pit. So one thing that you can do if you own a shop vac and you want to do some preventative maintenance and it's been dry, you can unplug your sump pump. Please unplug it because the thing is like a garbage grinder, and if it doesn't have these little sleeves right here, this little grid, okay, you can get your fingers in there and you can get hacked up. Please unplug the thing. And you got, of course, water and electricity, which God knows is not a great idea, okay? Take your shop vac down there, but drain your pump, lift that little switch, okay? Go in there, lift your tether float or lift this switch up, hold that thing up until the pump has drained as much water as it can out of the pit, okay? Get down in there with the shop vac, okay? And vacuum out all the debris that's down there. Now, you may notice when you get that thing cleaned out that there is some holes in the bottom, drilled holes, okay? We do that as builders to let water come in the bottom of the pit. What you don't want to see is cracks. What you don't want to see is the lack of a bottom of a pit, just dirt, okay? If that's just down there in the dirt, you're going to have problems. It's going to be sucking up into the impeller, burning out the pump. Stick your shop vac down in that hole and suck all that debris out of there. Get it as clean as you can. Go get your garden spade, okay? Get your knee pads. Get down there. Get your kid with the trash bag and dig in and scoop and scoop and scoop and get everything out of there. I come to houses that they've never had the sump pit cleaned. They've had a plumber come replace their sump pump every 3 to 4 years. A plumber has never cleaned that pit, okay? So if your sump pump is burning out or you want to do some preventative maintenance, what happens is if you don't get all that debris out of there, that little piece of gravel, it goes up inside these grills, okay? Or if your pit doesn't have grills, it goes up inside those grills and it goes inside the impeller, and the impeller is basically a fan that spins like this, and it's plastic, okay? It's usually plastic. Piece of gravel goes in there, boom, it either stops the impeller, just like in the movie Finding Nemo. Remember when the guy swims up inside the filter and he spits out the gravel? It is the exact same thing. If you've seen the movie, you know what I'm talking about. Okay? All right. So you want to get all that debris out of there. That's going to save your pump, okay? Another thing is, please, again, be careful with electricity. The other thing that goes bad on pumps, and here's my lovely lack of assistant. This is a check valve, okay? This is, I keep this one around because it's dirty, so I never want to really sell it to anybody. It looks kind of nasty, but this is called the quiet check valve. All that is, you'll hear your pump go off, boom, thunk, and maybe it shakes your pipes and your whole house and everything. Some people, they say they sleep better at night knowing they hear that because they know their pump's running, okay? This is a silent check valve. If the thunk is getting obnoxious to you, you can ask a plumber or you can purchase these silent check valves. It's just got a spring in there so it soft closes, okay? So anyway, inside here is a flapper, okay? These have a direction, and this is supposed to be installed upright. Or in other words, in the direction of flow, excuse me. See inside there? When the pump kicks on, water opens that flap, lets the water out. But then you hear that thunk, okay? That holds the water in the pipe from up here up so that it doesn't all flush back down into the pit, because otherwise you're going to get 6 foot of water inside of a 1/2 inch or 2 inch pipe all the way back down in the pit, and the pump's going to be cycling. So if you hear that, shh, and your pump's going off all the time and you're not hearing thunk, 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 this valve could either be missing, the flapper's worn out, and it needs to be replaced, okay? As a homeowner, if you're handy, that's usually a pretty easy task if it's not glued in place, like I tend to glue these in place. Sometimes there's a rubber fitting on there, and you take a 5/16 socket nut driver and you loosen a band, and you can pull that thing off. Make sure you unplug the pump, because firsthand, I've forgotten to unplug the pump. I've taken the check valve off. I'm looking down inside there. Ooh, look down inside the pipe. All of a sudden, you know, and you get a 10-gallon shower of water. Unplug the pump. Remember, electricity, water. Unplug the pump when you're doing all this. So anyway, that's your check valve, okay? I hope I explained that properly. Sorry that the whiteboard doesn't work, but I guess when you live in Lake County, Illinois, and you have an unheated office, or your office is only heated to 45 degrees, your markers go bad. So anyway, that's sump pumps. If your pump doesn't work, your basement's going to flood. It's just the way that gravity works, okay? The water's up here. This is the bottom of your basement, okay? The water's outside against your basement wall. They want to seek level, okay? That pump keeps pumping, and then the water goes down, pumping, the water goes down, pumping, okay? When that pump dies, that water's just going to come up, 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 until it seeks level with wherever the rainwater is in the soil. I'm talking about in the soil outside of your house. So anyways, we do backup sump pumps. It's a battery system. I've got a video on it. I'm going to make more videos on it. But so when you go in your basement, you buy your new home, we call this Homeowner 101, or you've been in the home, and you look down and you see a plastic pit like this, like that guy that I showed you earlier, okay? All right? And it should have a lid on it, okay? The lid keeps balls and dice and toys and rocks and all kinds of stuff that get dropped in the basement, baseball cards, everything, from getting into the pit and then getting sucked up and destroying the pump. So if you don't have a good lid, go to your home store, wherever it is, Lowe's, Home Depot, Menards, what have you, okay? And just buy a sump pit lid. They've got a little U cut out of them usually, so you don't really have to even have any tools normally to put this thing on. You just stick it on there, and it'll keep people from stepping in there. It'll keep your college buddies from peeing in there, whatever, okay? If you are looking in your basement and you see a thing that looks like a sump pit, there's 2 PVC pipes coming up out of it, and it is bolted to itself, to the ground, to the floor in your basement, okay? That is your sewer ejector pit. If there is water, sewage, a gas smell, anything coming up out of your sewage ejector pit, please do not undo those bolts. Do not open that pit. Call a plumber. That is an emergency. It is a health risk.